What is happening, all you sexy YouTube warriors out there? Range Day Bro back at it again, and today we're going to be going over the long-term review of the Daniel Defense DDM4 PDW chambered in 300 blackout. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, before we get into the review, I do want to start off on a positive note. Peace and love is always the answer, guys. These are just here just in case. Guns are here just in case the government or anybody overreaches and tries to take your freedom or take anything that you love from you. These are here to protect those things. So violence is always a last resort. Always approach people with love and kindness. That's what I've done my whole life, and it's gotten me this far. So now, if you guys want to support the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know it's cheesy, but you guys would be surprised how much that helps, especially in YouTube's ongoing crusade against the Second Amendment. If you think you're subscribed, just make sure you double check your subscription, because you would be surprised how often guys get unsubscribed mysteriously. And that brings me to my third point. YouTube actually banned my channel for 1 week. I got one strike on my channel, so I'm actually not able to post until this video is going live, which should be Friday. So they banned me for a week. They deleted 3 of my old videos, one of which was the Nomad 30 suppressor review. And from what I understand, you're not allowed to show putting on or taking off a suppressor in YouTube videos anymore. That's modifying the firearm or adding any attachments for that matter. You'll notice in the video, some things are blurred out. There's some choppy edits just to comply with these tyrannical rules that YouTube has. So if you guys notice any weird edits like that, that's why. And then lastly, if you guys do want to support the channel even more, you can head on over to rangedaybro.com, where you can pick up a gun charm, any of the merch that we have. We got the Scar Tropical shirt right here, or the gun charm. We got the Fat Man Atomic Bomb. And how this works is, I can't even show you on camera now thanks to YouTube's new rules, but it's a QD point, any of your unused QD sling swivel points where your slings attach. The unused portions, you could put these cool charms on there, customize your guns, and the best part is I'm donating 55.6% of all the profits to the gun owners of America to fight to abolish the NFA and the tyrannical ATFs. It goes for a good cause, guys, and they're pretty badass as well. All right, guys, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about how this video is going to break down. So very high level, it pretty much starts with an accuracy portion. It goes into a long range portion, and then from there I go into a ejection pattern with different suppressors. That's very high level. Now getting more detailed, I'll get more detailed and I actually talk at the range as well, but I do a accuracy portion with at 100 yards with this TA-33, which is a specific 300 blackout reticle ACOG, and I do it with supersonic loads as well as subsonic loads. I capture as much as I can. The subs were just hitting super low, so I actually missed paper on a couple of them, but you guys will see in the footage here rolling in. And then from there, I took this baby out to 400 yards unsuccessfully, 300 yards successfully and consistently. And then after that portion, I go to the suppressor portion where I'm shooting all those same loads I accuracy tested with, supers and subs, with different suppressors. The 3 that I rotated through was the Dead Air Nomad 30, the Dead Air Sandman S, and the Dead Air Sandman K, because those are the 3 30 cal suppressors that I have, and they're some of the most common on the market today. So I'll actually go through and shoot all those different loads with those different suppressors and show you guys where it's ejecting so that you guys know. And then at the end, I'll wrap it all up with a nice bow on top and just tell you my overall opinions. And I spoke to Daniel Defense. I spoke to their technical support line and about certain things, about the 1 in 7 twist rate, about things like that, the accuracy, the gassiness, the springs, all that stuff. I'll talk about all that at the end. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so we have limited time because the camera downrange is recording, but I just want to talk to you guys real quick. We're going to do a quick accuracy test of the Daniel Defense DDM4 PDW 300 blackout. The reason being, I'm getting so many comments on my videos about accuracy, ejection pattern, reliability, supersonic, subsonic, all that stuff. So we're going to do 5-round shot groups. We're going to start off with Hornady Black 110 grain VMAX bullets. These are traveling at 2375 FPS according to the box. So we already have one of these loaded up in the gun. That is what the gun is zeroed for. We're going to be aiming at 100 yards with a ACOG TA-33. We are running the Dead Air Sandman K on here, and that is what it is zeroed with. So that's going to be our base for this accuracy test. For this one, I'm going to be aiming at the center of the target. As you guys can see, these are ejecting right about between 2 and 3 o'clock. Now we're going to be taking 5 shots with the 6 Hour Elite Performance here. This is a hunting cartridge. They call it a copper hunting cartridge. This is going at 2250 feet per second. according to the box. It does have a really nice finish on it. It's that nickel coating. It has a real long bullet. We'll see how these like to perform. Okay, these are ejecting in the same exact place. About 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That one was more like 2 o'clock there. We're gonna switch over to the Power Shock from Federal. This is a hunting cartridge, jacketed soft point, looking at 1900 feet per second muzzle velocity. And forgive me for being out of breath, I'm out of shape, and in order to save on my memory space, I'm sprinting this 100 yards to stop recording and cover up the old hits. So the things I do for you guys. All right, we got 5 rounds loaded up. That's ejecting right at 3 o'clock. Little bump fire there. Throw one more bullet in. Okay, we're gonna skip out on this stuff, guys. This stuff is actually horrible. This is unsafe in my opinion. This stuff, the bullet, I could pull the bullet right out of the casing in some cases. When I had a double feed, it just knocked the bullet loose, and it happened with multiple bullets. Let's move on over to the subsonic ammo. So we've shot all the supersonic ammo that we have out here today. Let's start off with the good stuff, the Hornady Black. This is 208 grain boat tail hollow point with a muzzle velocity of 10-20 according to the box. Let's see what sort of 5-round group we can get with this. All right, guys, so unfortunately, this Hornady 208 grain was hitting low, way right and way low off the camera. So put another target up and zoom the camera out. We're gonna do one more 5-round group and see if we can catch this one on camera. Center of the top target. Those are ejecting right in the money spot. Let's go for some 220 grain Federal OTM subsonic. So this is some Federal American Eagle 220 grain open tip match subsonic ammo for $24.99 when I bought it. We're gonna aim for the same exact spot, top of the middle target, top target in the middle of the body. A little bit louder, but we're still ejecting in the honey zone and the honey pot, right where you want to see it. This stuff was ejecting perfectly well as well, so very happy with that. And then the last one we have are some 200 grain open tip subsonic range for target. So it's the same vein as the crappier supersonic version, but I haven't had an issue with these bullets being borderline unsafe before, but getting a little dry, but the DDM4 pushes on, baby. I'm gonna be going for the face of the top target. 4, 5. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, so although I was aiming up here at the center for the first 2 groups or 3 groups, and at the head for the last one, we hit all down here. I don't think my big camera caught whatever string of fire this was. I couldn't tell from back there, but we see 2 up here, 1 here, these 2 shots, this shot as well. I mean, it's very hard to tell without looking at the footage. So we'll figure it out. We'll go back, look at the footage, and I'll let you guys know what was what, or you guys will be able to see when I edit it all in together. So it looks like we have a couple flyers. That could be me. It's not a super powerful ACOG, and we're dealing with a 7-inch barrel, guys, okay? So to me, this is plenty combat accurate. With the supersonic ammo, we had much tighter groups, but I'm just gonna throw the Hornady Black back in the gun, the supersonic ammo, and I'm gonna just confirm my 0. So we threw the 110 grain VMAX back in the gun. This stuff has a 2375 FPS. This is what I keep in the mag loaded if I'm using this for home defense. It's 5. Let's go see how we got it. Once again, guys, you were sitting right here on the table facing me, and those were ejecting every single one of them in this can. So with the Sandman K, we had a really consistent ejection pattern with the Hornady VMAX 110 grain. All right, guys, I don't want to make excuses for this gun, but this is pretty good. This could have very been well from me. Once again, we're using a 3.5 power ACOG on this guy, so it's not exactly made for long range. This guy, it's just, it is what it is, guys. 7.5 inch 300 blackout. I'm happy with it. I am. Some of you guys may not be. I don't have accuracy tests from a Q or Honey Badger or anything to put it up against, but for factory ammo, granted it's expensive and good ammo, I'm very happy with this. Maybe if you had a better optic and a better shooter behind the gun, you might be able to achieve sub MOA accuracy, but this is combat effective accuracy. That's about 4 inches, 3.5 inches right there. So I'm happy with it. We're gonna take it over to the long range and see if we can get hits out to 300, 400, 500 yards, just see what we can get on some steel targets. All right, guys, so just to recap the range portion, I already kind of said it all in that at the range when I was there and it was fresh in my mind, but this is a 7-inch barrel. This is a personal defense weapon. This gun, to have combat accuracy, is all I was ever expecting out of it from day one until now. To have a 3 MOA group at 100 yards with supers, and I know it opened up quite a bit more with the subsonic ammo. Maybe you can blame the twist rate, but I'm very happy with the performance of this gun for it being a PDW. If I'm ever going to be actually using this in a real life or death situation, unless I'm shooting from 10 yards away, I'm going to be running supers in this because they're just way more effective at getting the job done, which we all know what that means. Is it acceptable accuracy? Is it sub MOA accuracy? Absolutely not, but it is acceptable combat effective accuracy. All right, so next I did go to the long range at RPR. Big shout out to RPR Ranch, Revel Peak Ranch out there. Andrea, she kind of runs the show. She's salt of the earth. A great place to go if you guys are interested in going to find a long range shooting place. If you're in Central Texas, I highly recommend it. See if we can't hit 300. Hit. Let's go to 400. That was low right. All right, guys, we're gonna try this again. We're gonna go for 300 yards and then work our way out to 4 and see if we can hit anything consistently. So 300 yards right now. Hit. Let's go back to 4. All right, guys, we're gonna do one more string of fire. We have about 10 rounds of this 220 grain American Eagle 300 Blackout subsonic ammo. I'm just gonna see if the holdovers in this TA-33 are accurate and consistent. Got a little bit of a failure to go in the battery there. This thing's getting really dry. So we'll see if we have any issues here, but no impact. No impact. I was a little disappointed in the accuracy out to 400 yards, pretty much the lack thereof. I was dancing all around the target and I was shooting with the Sandman K. Doesn't really matter. It was zeroed with the Sandman K. This gun did disappoint me a little bit because I thought I would be able to reach out to 400 yards, at least 400 yards with this thing, even though it is such a short barrel. However, when I took it back to 300 yards, I was able to get consistent hits on a very small 8-inch target. That's about the size of my head, right? So I'm able to get headshots at 300 yards with this thing. I would consider that acceptable to me and what I would expect out of this gun. Now, once again, I was a bit disappointed because I did think I can get this out to 4, and it was just not capable of doing that. Full disclosure, I do have a Geisley Super Dynamic 3-gun trigger in here, but I was shooting off my bag. So take that for what it's worth. I do have a magnified optic on here. I am happy with it. I'm not going to go sell this gun now because I couldn't reach out to 4. If I'm getting 0 to 300 yards effective hits with this guy, with the size, how compact it is, I'm still really happy with that. Once again, you had a 7-inch barrel on this thing, guys, so just keep that in mind. What I did think was interesting is while I was out there was a nice gentleman at the range who had a chronograph with him. He was a precision rifle guy. I don't own a chronograph. He just happened to let me use it. He's like, hey, do you want to chrono this gun? Because he was interested as well. And so I did. It wasn't as reliable as I would have hoped. It did give us some readings, but with certain ammo loads, it just wouldn't read. Also with the subs, it was just giving us the wrong reading, so I didn't put that footage in there. But it was cool to see for a couple of the loads, you know, what the box said versus what it actually showed on the chronograph. So that was pretty cool. Big shout out to that dude, you know who you are, who hooked me up with this chronograph at RPR. But I wasn't even planning to have that part in the video, so that was kind of a little extra goodie you guys get. Something interesting for you ballistic heads out there. All right, y'all, so we're gonna chrono some ammo here because a nice gentleman here had a chronograph. It's not mine, but he's letting me borrow it. We're looking at the 300 Blackout 120 grain. This is the Copper Hunting from Sig Sauer. It says on the box 2250 feet per second, but again, I don't know what barrel like that is. So let's see what it comes out with the DDM4 PDW. Let's see if we're aiming at 200 yards. 1939. Hit. 1912. Then last round. 1921. Let's switch out to the 110 grain VMAX. This is what it is zeroed at. This is my home defense ammo. It's what I keep in the gun. Now we did zero this with a suppressor. We don't have it on there right now. Got a hit, 2047. A little hotter. Miss, 2070. Hit at 200 yards with 2056. Pretty interesting, this information here, because on the box it says 2357. Obviously that's out of a longer barrel. So we got the Federal Power Shock jacketed soft point. I'm gonna do 3 rounds of this, see what we get. This is 150 grain from Federal. It's a hunting round. Again, on the box, this thing is telling us we're doing 1900 feet per second. We were low. Acquisition error, could not track the projectile. Yeah, these are 125 grain supers. Yep, 1969, great year. 1917, hit. 1906.